Eating more anti-inflammatory foods is a powerful and underappreciated strategy for reducing visceral fat, the deep, metabolically active fat stored around vital organs like the liver, pancreas, and intestines. While many people focus solely on calories or macronutrient ratios when trying to lose fat, the truth is that chronic low-grade inflammation plays a central role in how fat is stored, where it accumulates, and how difficult it is to lose. Visceral fat, in particular, is both a cause and a consequence of inflammation, creating a self-perpetuating cycle that contributes to insulin resistance, metabolic syndrome, and increased risk of chronic disease. Breaking this cycle requires more than just cutting back on junk food. It requires actively nourishing the body with foods that cool inflammation at its root. Anti-inflammatory foods help interrupt this vicious loop by lowering systemic levels of inflammatory markers such as C-reactive protein, CRP, interleukin-6, IL-6, and tumor necrosis factor alpha, TNFA. These compounds, when chronically elevated, signal the body to store more fat in the abdominal cavity and impair insulin's ability to regulate blood sugar. By regularly including anti-inflammatory foods in your diet, you help restore metabolic balance, improve cellular communication, and allow the body to shift away from fat storage and toward fat utilization. One of the most potent anti-inflammatory foods is fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel. These are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, EPA and DHA, which have been shown to reduce visceral fat, improve insulin sensitivity, and directly lower inflammatory cytokines. In people with obesity or metabolic syndrome, increasing omega-3 intake is associated with a measurable reduction in abdominal fat and improvements in liver health, making it a targeted nutritional tool for visceral fat reduction. For those who don't eat fish regularly, high-quality omega-3 supplements may offer similar benefits, though food sources tend to provide additional nutrients like vitamin D and selenium. Another cornerstone of an anti-inflammatory diet is colorful fruits and vegetables, especially berries, leafy greens, and cruciferous vegetables like broccoli and kale. Berries such as blueberries, raspberries, and strawberries are rich in anthocyanins and other polyphenol that protect against oxidative stress and downregulate genes involved in fat storage and inflammation. Leafy greens like spinach, arugula, and Swiss chard contain magnesium, folate, and other micronutrients that help regulate the stress response and reduce cortisol levels, which are directly implicated in visceral fat accumulation. Turmeric, a spice commonly used in Indian cuisine, contains curcumin, a compound that has garnered significant scientific attention for its anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and fat-reducing properties. Curcumin has been shown in some studies to lower inflammation in fat tissue and improve insulin sensitivity, particularly when consumed with black pepper, which enhances its bioavailability. While turmeric supplements can be effective, incorporating the spice into meals, in soups, stir-fries, or golden milk offers a food-first approach that enhances both flavor and function. Other valuable anti-inflammatory foods include nuts, especially walnuts and almonds, seeds like flax and chia, extra virgin olive oil, tomatoes, and fermented foods such as kimchi, sauerkraut, and yogurt. These foods support gut health, reduce oxidative stress, and modulate immune function, all critical pathways in controlling inflammation and preventing visceral fat buildup. Olive oil, a staple of the Mediterranean diet, has been shown to reduce inflammatory markers and may protect against the development of metabolic disease even in people with higher body mass. Importantly, the effectiveness of anti-inflammatory foods is enhanced when they replace inflammatory ones, particularly those high in refined sugar, industrial seed oils, processed meats, and additives. It's not just about adding a few berries to a sugar-loaded breakfast. It's about shifting the entire dietary pattern toward one that nourishes your body, calms your immune system, and creates a hormonal environment more conducive to fat loss. When the body is no longer burdened by inflammatory signals, it becomes more efficient at burning stored energy, including the deep visceral reserves that are resistant to ordinary dieting. The benefits of an anti-inflammatory eating pattern extend beyond fat loss. Many people report more stable energy, clearer thinking, less joint pain, and improved digestion. These improvements create positive feedback loops that reinforce healthier habits. It becomes easier to exercise, sleep well, and manage stress when inflammation is under control. In the long run, this approach doesn't just help you look leaner, it helps you become metabolically younger and more resilient against the diseases most closely tied to visceral fat, such as heart disease, fatty liver, and type 2 diabetes. In summary, eating more anti-inflammatory foods is a smart, evidence-based method to address visceral fat at its biological roots. These foods work not by starving the body or suppressing appetite, but by healing the underlying dysfunctions that drive fat to accumulate in the most dangerous places. They lower systemic inflammation, improve hormonal regulation, and unlock the body's natural ability to burn fat, all while delivering a range of other benefits that support vibrant, long-term health.